So, oh shit, hold on. I'm sitting back because last week's recording, I'm about this big. Welcome to Welsh Wednesdays with me, Katie Gill-Williams, and
me, Kiri, Pritchard-McLean. Do you know what? Since we started doing this, we've synced periods as well.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah, we must, because I'm earlier than expected. I'll leave this in.
So you remember for next time when it comes out, you'll be like, oh, okay, great.
Every week we meet up, we have a sgwrs and chat about a subject, and then at the end try and do dipyn bach o Cymraeg and trio I dysgu geiriau newydd hefyd. So this week I've got a banner, the flag, which is someone who absolutely balls on every level geography up at school is the worst subject to put me in charge of. But I've made some notes and we'll give it a go. They think the earliest talk of a draig, so the dragon, comes from the Roman times, but more so around medieval. Roman Draco was maybe the first origins of dragons and Welsh culture aligning. But with everything that's medieval, like the Dark Ages, is just, there's no research about anything, so they can basically make up whatever they want. So I think that there might be some dragons knocking around. I don't know. I used to think dragons were real. Did you?
Well, Komodo dragons are real, but like flying dragons, no, I don't think I did. I think I understood like mythology, but also they're across so many cultures. That's not to say that something didn't exist years and years ago that looked, do you know what I mean, loads like a dragon, because also they were really shit at drawing back then.
Oh god, I'm already looking at my notes, Kiri back. Sfia. Fair arall. Okay, so the earliest written example of the dragons came from a prophecy about two serpents who just woke up in the middle of the night and had a fight, and one of them was white, one of them was red, and they're said to symbolize England and Wales, and it was Merlin who kind of brought this prophecy to fruition, to life. That's my understanding of the earliest written origins.
The white dragon, I think, is meant to represent the Anglo-Saxons, and a red dragon, a draig goch, is the Brythonic people, which is what you'd now know as the Celts. And then one day there's this prophecy that the red dragon will rise again, and that ties into the whole idea of a king returning to Wales and Welsh independence. Like, people will be like, oh my god, it's Adam Price, the red dragon. Like, every time there's like a hint of like, you know, like independence stuff, like oh my god, he's coming home, the king's coming home, the dragon's coming home. The Welsh dragon on the flag, sort of representing something we know today, starts with the Tudors, and unfortunately it's not your favourite Henry VIII, it's Henry VII, whose seat was in North Wales, in Gwynedd, and he, going into battle, used the red dragon because it was a symbol of, I think his name is Cadwell ap Cadwallader, I think he was a king in Wales, and he had a red dragon. History goes that they went into a battle with this flag, and that's the first time it was sort of used as a representation of, you know, at least that area anyway. And I always thought that a banner, the flag, was a red dragon with a white sky and the green grass to show a Kevin Glad and how, you know, how important it is in Wales. But those are just the Tudor colours. It's literally having your like, yeah, well, I'm in Gryffindor, so I've got these colours.
I'm sure I read with the colours, it was called the draig aur, so the gold dragon. In the Roman times, I think they used to have a gold dragon emblem on their weapons. So I think the colours evolved over time, actually. I massively could be wrong with all this history stuff.
No,
so.
I definitely know of their gold dragon. I remember seeing that on some of the YouTubes I've watched.
I know. Do you know how I was thinking? Brian Cox would be raging, but he's like stars, isn't he? So.
Yeah. You're offending the wrong academics, don't worry. was the Battle of Bosworth that this flag was carried in on, which is quite a significant one. Obviously, nearly all battles are not significant enough to be like the Battle of the Boyne, where it forces its way into your iPhone calendar every year, and you're like, oh, I've got a gig, and you're like, oh no, it's the Battle of the Boyne.
Yeah, but Battle of Bosworth sounds like just a big council estate battle. The flag, kind of the dragon symbol, has been around for like 1,000 years, but it wasn't until really recently it was recognised as a national symbol, and I think that was like 1959. So as late as that, and I think it came out of the, is it the Goddesedd, you know, in the Eisteddfod?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think they really fought for it actually to be established as a national symbol. Do you know about the way the dragon should face? Because I was talking to someone the other day and they were saying that on this packaging someone had put the dragon and they were really offended because it was facing the wrong way.
Oh really?
And
so
I don't know which way around.
The dragon always faces like in. Do you know what? I've missed an absolute fucking trick. I've got these. Why didn't I wear them?
Put them on now.
It doesn't go with what I'm wearing. The dragon as we know it, which is like based on certain ratios of circles and things like that, it was standardized because it wasn't standardized in, I think, the 80s.
You know what gets me every time when I hear about stuff like this, even with the language as well, just the audacity of the English thinking like that they are history. Basically, because we've had their fucking kings and queens shoved down our throats since we were little. Everything stemmed from that. But Welsh language dates back, the symbolism of the dragon dates back, and only in the 80s. It's just so fucking cheeky, I think.
I'm going to try and do a bit more in Welsh this time. So, ti'n gwybod amdan y banner o dewisant efo di ac melyn?
Ie, dwi'n gwybod. Mae'n edrych fel banner, dwi'n meddwl cyrno yn croesau?
Yeah.
Gwyn? Dwi'n meddwl.
Yeah, so it does. It looks almost exactly like the Cornish flag. So it's black with a yellow cross. So it's laid out the same way as the St. George's cross. And one of the conversations around our flag is we have no representation in the Union Jack. And they've said, well, you should make the white on the Union Jack, it should be yellow to pay homage to that. So people have said, put a dragon in the middle of it. Put a dragon on top of the Union Jack. Like, how badass and glamorous would that look?
So in culture, people really started to wear their dragon with pride, which was lovely. I mean, it's a cool flag, isn't it? No one's going to rock up in a white, like British Army Red Cross flag like the English one. It just doesn't have the same kudos. So I've done a little list of celebs who's won the dragon. And we got Shirley Bassey in 1999. I think it was at the World Cup, the Rugby World Cup. And then Nicky Wire's quite famous from the Manic Street Preachers. I think he always has one on stage or something like that. And then we had our very own Kiri Pritchard-McLean in 2019 on Live at the Apollo, which I think was worn the best way. If you're going to wear it as a leotard?
A leotard made by a Welsh designer as well, with a full cape.
Yeah, fabulous. I think I'm really interested in the concept of like flags and banners. They're so powerful. They're so much more than like just an image, and what they bring out in people. Ti'n feddwl amdan banner just as a concept?
Yeah, mae'n anodd achos dwi'n meddwl rhywbeth. Does that mean? No, that means something, doesn't it? Sometimes. I want to say sometimes.
Oh, weithiau.
Weithiau. A banner ydi divisive. A dwi'n meddwl banner o Lloegr ydi, you know, dipyn bach o divisive rwan, achos mae llawer o pobl hiliaeth wrth y môr efo y banner. Ond yn Gymru, dwi'n meddwl mae'n wahanol, achos Dwi'n meddwl y banner ydy symbol o underdogs. Felly, the sort of, how do I explain? I don't even know how to explain it in English. I guess the aggression, even though it's a dragon, feels slightly removed because it's the it's a civic pride. It's not necessarily, and obviously that's not to say we don't have a role in being oppressors, but like it's a movement of civic pride. Seeing that flag, it's not a symbol of oppression, which I think the St George's Cross can be, and the Union Jack, around the Brexit conversation, definitely has taken a turn.
It's a real mae'n siomedig amdan y banner Lloegr, achos dwi ddim yn meddwl pawb pwy sy'n defnyddio y fflag yn hiliaeth o cael hiliaeth, ond dros y blynyddoedd it's become that. What's tricky is sometimes I could be a bit like black and white about things, like you either like flags or you don't, and if they're allowed one, they're allowed one. It's all based on trust, isn't it? You've got to trust where the intention and what the kind of subtext is of it, but you can't be like they're okay to have it and they're not. But yeah, the English flag and the Union Jack really just makes me feel a bit sal. I don't know if I'm just jealous because the English flag's so shit, but I think you're right. The English flag has been a symbol of oppression for so long. And there's something about the dragon taking back their autonomy and their fight. There's a culture and a passion in Welsh people, and I just want to be part of it.
Let me in. Ga I cael sgwrs bach yn Gymraeg rwan?
Nawn ni trio.
Dwi'n wrth y modd efo y banner o Gymru. Y draig coch ydi cool iawn, dwi'n meddwl. A dipyn bach o, this is the word I wanted to look up, fabulous. Dwi'n meddwl y banner ydi, dipyn bach o camp. Felly mae'n dwy banner yn y byd efo y draig on.
Mewn is in the, isn't it?
On the.
Yeah.
Ar y banner. Cymru a Bhutan. Dwi'n gobeithio, gobaith. Y banner o Gymru ydy aros y symbol o i teimlo balch, dim symbol o gormes. Ti'n dallt? Mae gen I un banner yma yn y gardd, ond y banner wedi torri rwan achos y coedyn it's like caught it a torri y banner. Rwan y banner edrych fel hate crime. Can fi gwneud live at the Apollo, y pobl sy'n gweithio ar y rhaglen yn dweud be ti isio gwisgo, a dwi'n gwybod, o'n i'n gwybod mae rhaid I mi gwisgo fy leotard efo y draig goch ar y on it, achos dwi ddim yn medra I ddim meddwl costiwm neu dillad lle dwi'n teimlo mwy hydur than y banner.
Roedd yn hyfryd achos am fi, roedd really neis I clywed ti'n teimlo falch I gwisg y fflag, achos os dwi'n gwisg yn y fflag Lloegr, just teimlo fel massive racist. Mae'n hyfryd, achos cyntaf, nes ti edrych anhygoel, a just fel nes ti cael y spirit o draig efo ti. A mae'n really pwysig I dathlu hon, a I dathlu y gwlad lle nes ti'n enni, dwi'n meddwl enni is brought up, dwi'n meddwl.
Okay.
Neu Maggie, born neu enni, ddim yn cofio. And it was lovely. It was just a moment, and I can imagine that must have been fucking huge. And yeah, just to be empowered in this red dragon is freaking absolutely on brand, marvellous. And weithiau, mae'n siomedig, nes I ddim yn cael rhywbeth fel hon o Lloegr. Dwi'n gwybod dwi'n medru adopt y draig, ond dwi'n really hoffi pobl pwy sy'n gwisg y banner efo falch. Mae'n hyfryd. Ond, as a concept, ddim yn siŵr amdan y banner because of dros y blynyddoedd, llawer o pethau drist yn digwydd, a mae banner yn fel llun I represent y gwlad and all the murky past. Ti'n gwybod?
Yeah, a mae'n anodd achos dwi ddim yn cytuno efo y syniad o this group, that group, like, on if you can remove the idea of flags from, I guess, for want of a much better phrase, this is probably loaded with connotations I haven't educated myself on yet, but tribalism, and if you remove it as people being, as opposed to saying you're not allowed here, is going, I'm so proud I'm from here, and that's the problem, isn't it? Flags have been used to keep people out as opposed to build people up, which is what they can do. Because like I never feel offended or threatened if I see a salter, like if I see a Scottish flag, I'm like, great, and it should feel like that for everyone, and like English people should be able to feel that pride and be able to reclaim it, but it might take a lot of undoing and it might take some time.
Yeah, we've got a lot of apologising to do.
Mae siomedig y Union Jack dechrau I be a symbol of division. I mean, obviously, there's nothing more dividing than the empire. It's literally their mission statement. And in the 90s, Oasis, guitar efo Union Jack, Jerry Halliwell, Union Jack a Trons, Trons bach. Pobl yn falch iawn o a Union Jack, ond rwan, a Union Jack, dwi'n meddwl, Union Jack ydy Brexit.
Oh, Nigel Farage, yeah, ti'n wir, and that's, ond be ydy Union Jack? Where's its place in modern society now? Dwi ddim yn siŵr os mae'n dal yn relevant rwan.
Priodas royal, I say a royal weddings.
Yeah.
Cig yn ar farchnad.
Pobl pwy sy'n ddim yn cael taste yn y interior design.
Yeah! Dwi'n meddwl, ti'n yfed y Prosecco, ydy trio rhoi sponsorship.
I'd be more than happy with that.
If there's a Welsh Prosecco brand out there that would like to sponsor this, that would be absolutely great.
I toast to that. Mi wna I tostio I hon.
Diolch yn fawr for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
I am a bit pissed, mate.